My dad passed away when I was a baby in an accident, and I barely have any memories of him. Adam had spent some time with him at least, but I have no recollection of what he was like. Adam never liked me, and growing up, he was my biggest enemy. He was always a bully, and my mother, being a single mom, didn't really have time to deal with our sibling rivalry because she had more important things on her mind, like paying the bills and making sure there's food on the table every day. Our uncle, my dad's brother, visited a lot and tried to help out as much as he could. My mother kept in touch with my father's family even after his demise for their sake, because they'd already lost their son. They didn't need to lose their grandkids either. My uncle was pretty much the only father figure I have ever known, and he still is my go-to person. For Adam, it was my mother. My mother didn't play favorites, but it was very apparent that if she had to pick one, it would be Adam. And that made our sibling rivalry even more intense because I wanted to be my mother's favorite as well. Unfortunately, I was always a bit of a loser growing up. I wasn't good at sports and I was mediocre at best when it came to academics. I was quite skinny and I didn't have any such talents that could set me apart. So I was always very insecure about basically everything, and that made it very difficult for me to talk to people, make friends and be popular. I was a really introverted kid and mostly kept to myself. Adam was quite the opposite. He played sports and was great at it. He wasn't too bad academically either, and he had a very different physique from mine, big and sturdy, because of his athletics. Needless to say, being his little brother was even more embarrassing for me because even though nobody said it to my face, I knew that everybody was constantly comparing me with him and thinking that I was a loser in comparison. With time, I learned to live in his shadow and would just let him walk all over me. My self-esteem really took a hit in my childhood and I was never able to recover from it. Even until my last day of high school, I barely had any friends and nobody wanted to talk to me because I just came off as weird. Things only changed for me and started looking up when I graduated and moved to college. I was a new person there and nobody knew me as Adam's little brother. So I grew into my own now that I didn't have to deal with Adam's constant bullying and could finally be my own person. I know it sounds cheesy, but I'm so thankful that I was able to go to college out of state when nobody knew me, because I don't think I would have been the person that I am today had it not been for that experience. And I have my uncle to thank for it because he was the one who paid for me to go to college. My mother had told me that she wouldn't be able to afford to send me to college so far away and wanted me to pick a location closer to home, within our city if possible. But I had my mind set and my uncle offered to cover me and stepped up. I made a lot of friends there and graduated at the top of my class. My mother and uncle attended my graduation ceremony, but Adam didn't, even though I'd been present at his. After moving out, Adam and I didn't really keep in touch for obvious reasons. He hated me for no reason, and I hated him because he made my childhood and teen years a total nightmare. I was glad to be rid of him, and we only met on the holidays or whenever we would come back home for birthdays. It's been years and that's the arrangement that we stuck to. We didn't consider each other family beyond the confines of our house, but I did console him and send him a message when he lost all his money a couple of years ago. He'd quit his job and tried to start his own business, but failed miserably. And my uncle and mother had to bail him out. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.